I'm taking this paper, Integrating Mind, Body and Heart, okay, which you all know by the name IMBH, okay. So the entire, the essence of the paper is in its name itself, that is the 4 words. First of all, mind, body and heart. Now if I talk about mind, what comes to your mind is this, what you talk about, your intelligence, your analytical skills, how you think, your thought process, like anyone has got an engineering degree, a person in a medical profession. So you have your mind faculties, what you're studying, you're training for, that's what you're doing, that's what you're doing, you're training your mind to a particular direction. So that's one aspect of your life which you are using your mind. Now, given that fact, the next word which we come to is body. Body would mean the physical aspect of your body, the body functions, your fitness level, you are healthy, how much muscle power what you use, you're free from diseases, you are taking care about hygiene, all these aspects come in the field of your taking care of your body. That is, you take good nourishment, you go for exercise, you take care of your small things which will give you more and more nutritious and make you strong, which is there, which will be your aspect of your body, which is there. So, mind, body, and the third aspect of the name of this paper is heart. Now, this heart is not on the left hand side what you have, which is beating. We're not talking about those. We're not talking about the blood vessels and the veins and the arteries. We're not talking about that. What here we are talking about heart in this sense is the spirit, is the soul. Is that, like for example, even if we are doing exercise for that matter, for our body, we are doing exercise. But when we are doing this exercise, if our heart is not into it, and if we are not enthusiastic about it, or in the sense that we just don't have that zeal or that energy to put in our best into that, it's just a futile exercise. Okay? So, or another thing is your feelings, the sensitivity, what you talk about, the compassion, the love, the care, the enthusiasm, the vitality. That's what is the spirit of an individual. Now, the 3 words, mind, body, heart. Now, if I look at it, if I just talk about mind in one sense, I'm very intelligent and I go out and I do that, but at the same time, I'm an insensitive person, I don't take care of people, I'm rude, or for example, I'm not physically fit, I will not be able to do what really I am supposed to do. Meaning in the sense that my mind faculties which are there will not be put into use to its totality. So, or taking another example, if you are, let's say, a very, very caring person, or a person who really is very sensitive to the needs of others, who helps others, but the thing is that you are working in a very haphazard manner. Your planning is totally haywire. You are having a campaign to help people, like for example, to give a vaccination to children for that matter. It's a very, very, very noble cause. You're going ahead and doing that kind of an interaction, but with your mind, your entire activity is totally haphazard. In the sense, you don't know how to plan, you don't know how to go about it. It's a fiasco. So, the essence of it is integration. Integration of mind, body and heart. That's the essence of this paper. Now, if I look at the references given to it, the reference is just one book, which is My Experiments with Truth by the father of our nation, Mahatma Gandhi. Now, we all are very much known, he is on our currency note. That's another important aspect which we have, but that's not all. Why Mahatma Gandhi? The question asked. The question asked is, why Mahatma Gandhi? Now, in your mind, a lot of things about Mahatma Gandhi you must be read through your school curriculum. You have imbibed it, but why the question here I ask is that question is that Mahatma Gandhi was, 2-3 aspects, was a multifaceted personality, first of all. We all know that. There's a gamut of things which he has done. But the way he has done it is important. There are a lot of other great leaders as well who have done things. But the way Mahatma Gandhi has done it, there are some lessons to be learned from that. First of all, what as students I want you to know that he was an absolutely ordinary person like any one of us, you and me. Absolutely an ordinary person. With all the flaws of all human beings. Whether it was stealing, whether it was lying, whether it was going in and indulging in his desires, or whether, manipulating to a certain extent. So we all do that. We all do that. So, if we all do that, but why is it different? Because he, at one stage in his life, he did that and he realized that what I am doing is not what I need to do. Okay? Now, if I talk about any one of you, if I ask you a question, and you say, through your childhood, what are good qualities a person should have? You will give me a big list. You'll say, honesty, truth, loyalty, politeness, having, not stealing, caring for others, being respectful to your elders, to older people. We all know. But how many of you follow it in the real intention of it? So, this paper actually tells us that we know what's right, we know what's good, but we have to practice it. We have to do it as a forced practice. Meaning, we know something, sometimes we know certain things which we don't need to do, but we don't put our mind to it. This means focused thought in this direction. And that's why at this stage in your life, we feel a need for you to do this paper. That you need to have a focused thought to this direction. And like Gandhiji, he decided that, okay, fine, these things are wrong and I need to go into this direction. That's why the most important word which I like here with respect to this book is the word experiments. He doesn't say lessons. He doesn't say, that these are, my sermons, do's and don'ts. They're not that. Sometimes even your parents come up and say this, and you have to do this, and you have to do that, and other people also say. They are not do's and don'ts. They are experiments. So as students, I feel each one of you will make their own experiments. They will do their own experiments. You will learn from your own mistakes. Like Gandhiji learned from his own mistakes, you are going to learn from your own mistakes. And that conscious thought that you know that you have done it. Sometimes it's just an urge. It's sometimes you want to experiment. You want to try something. There's nothing wrong in it. But you should know the extent of it. What's the harm in it? What's the advantage of it? What you're doing. The conscious thought has to come from within. And that is the real intention of this. Like a lot of people say, okay, I am BH, okay, we must be having a curriculum and this must be Gandhiji's book and we need to write an answer. No, that's not there. It's the idea. It's the idea that he was an ordinary mortal. He did his experiments, he learned from his experiments, and he came up out a winner. And as individuals, you people also have to do this, that you have to come up and you have to say that this is what I need to do with my life, this is how I have to integrate my mind, my body and my heart. Okay? So, in this sense, we will, in today's class, I want you people to, share some experiences like I told you in the last class when I told you that you should read some incidents about Gandhiji's life, and we are going to relate with those incidents that to your own personal life, and we will discuss some incidents in your life as well, that how did you go about dealing with it and what do you think about those incidents. Now, what what words or what impressions come to your mind when you think about Gandhi? Yes. Non-violence. Okay. Satyagraha.
Dandi March.
Dandi March. Yes, someone.
Ashram and
Sabarmati Ashram.
One of us famous saying, when someone slaps you, one cheek, give them
The other cheek. Basically, that is that you should not use
you
force.
just show them your slap doesn't have an effort on.
Any effort.
Oh yes, he was the leader of Indian nationalism when Britishers ruled India.
Yes, very good. What else?
Non-cooperation movement.
Non-cooperation movement. Yes. Any other things about his personal life and his beliefs which comes to your mind? Anything?
He was son of Puttibai Gandhi.
Okay, fine. He was a lawyer.
He was a great leader. He minded all the nation, and he was called as the father of nation.
Yeah.
And basically, he was a great human being also, and very health conscious person.
Yes.
He walked nearly approximately 14 kilometers daily,
Yes.
and that's all I know.
So he was a vegetarian. He believed in ahimsa, saying the truth. So many there's a gamut of things to learn from. Now out here, I won't say that you have to agree to all of them. Whatever Gandhiji did, in the present scenario, maybe everything might not be totally relevant. It's a century ago. There's certain things which were valid at that point. Like for example, he talked about eating meat for that matter. Now to eat meat, according to his idea was wrong. But according to any other person's idea is maybe right. So what you learn from here is that you learn that what you believe in, you should stick by that. Fine? Now I think I've given you some the book which you have to read, the early aspects of childhood. So I want one of you to share some incidents about his life, his early childhood, and we discuss it. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Now Gandhiji really loved his parents, and he had some values that he learned from his parents, and he had thought that he would always abide by them. But ultimately he got into bad company of a friend, and instead of making him improve, he started walking on the wrong track. He started eating meat despite of his parents also and his own values of not eating meat. And he started smoking, abusing. He got into a lot of bad company because of that one friend. But eventually with time, with his experiment, he learned, and not only himself, he improved his friend also.
Okay, now this incident of getting into wrong company, we are very familiar with that. This age group is very familiar with that. Now, related to this incident, I want you people to share something which has happened in your personal life, which has had an impact on you. Yes, can you say something?
An instance to share. There was a friend of mine, and in 10th class, he changed the school. And we came to know from the sources that he is in a bad company. The friends of his used to drink, smoke, and they used to steal money for buying that alcohol. And for that, he also started all that. And earlier, he was to greet people like hi, hello. And now he started greeting people with an abusive word, starting from an abusive word. And basically, he was just using his heart, what his heart says that. And he was not integrating his mind and body. And that's all. It's compulsory that to integrate your mind, body, and heart while thinking. You cannot just act while using heart.
So, do you think that was right or wrong?
That was really wrong.
That was wrong. So you at that stage, you knew the difference that this what he is doing is not right.
Yes.
Has anyone himself gone through something, himself or herself gone through something like that? Anyone from there? Maybe at that kind of an incident which comes to your mind where you think that you should not have done, maybe you've been disrespectful to your parents sometimes, I think. Yes.
About cheating in examinations. As to when the examination is to happen, you're only thinking about getting marks when you haven't even studied that thing. So you get into that bad company for the exam. This happened with me once. I was cheating for an exam. I was in 8th class. And it was 4-5 of us, and we ultimately got caught, and all of us got a 0 out of 100. So I did learn after that 0 that it was something bad, and it wasn't.
So you learn because you got a 0. But the thing is, that if you are not caught, then what?
The lesson wouldn't have been learned at that point if I wasn't caught, because it needed something to happen for me to learn the lesson of it being a bad.
Yeah, exactly. So this is one thing which I want to tell you is that sometimes lessons of life teach you that, but sometimes it's the conscious thought.
So inner conscious teacher.
Yeah, like what one thing, like what I told you, that idea has to come to you. It has to come to your mind that when you are about to take that step, there is always a thought
Your inner conscious stops you.
that whether I should do it or whether I should not do it. Yes.
On the lines of her experience only, Gandhiji faced a similar incident in his childhood also. In his school, there was a day when the inspectors had to visit. Okay, so all the teachers told them to write a list of words and spell those words. He didn't know. He didn't know the correct spelling. So the teacher told him to cheat him from the person sitting next to him. But at that time only, his conscience, he knew, he stuck to his values, his ethics, and he did not cheat. He wrote the wrong spelling. He got caught. Maybe he was punished, but he never cheated. He never cheated. So he stick to his grounds and stick to his ethics, and that.
No, I think a little addition to that was because the inspector of the
Inspector
school
had to
was
come.
visiting
Yeah.
at that stage, and the teacher wanted to show
So
a good
the
picture.
good impression. So
Yeah,
he
which
asked
was
him
an
to cheat.
artificial impression.
He stood on it.
And
But
he
he
said-
stood with
Yeah,
his grounds
and he
did
said
not
that,
cheat.
yeah, this is what I am and this is what I will be. That is it.